Look at this man, a grandfatherly figure in a slightly oversized suit, sitting in a modest office in Omaha, Nebraska. He drinks cherry Coke, eats McDonald's breakfast, and jokes with reporters. He looks approachable, ordinary, almost harmless. But don't let the smile fool you. Behind that mask of folksy wisdom lies one of the most calculated, ruthless, and devastatingly efficient minds in human history. Warren Buffett did not build factories. He did not drill for oil. He did not invent a single piece of technology. And yet, while thousands of brilliant mathematicians, aggressive Wall Street traders, and tech geniuses burned to the ground, this one man quietly built an empire so massive that it achieved total financial gravity. Some people call him the ultimate teacher. Others see him as the ultimate capitalist predator, a man who waits in the shadows for the entire world to make a mistake and then buys the wreckage for pennies. How did a boy from a middle-class family master the hidden architecture of wealth? And more importantly, what does his life actually teach us about the brutal, unyielding rules of power, strategy, and survival? To understand the system, you have to understand the boy who built it. Buffett was born in 1930, right into the dark heart of the Great Depression. That timing was not a detail, it was his crucible. While the world around him was panicking, losing homes, and crying out for security, young Warren looked at the chaos and found his weapon: numbers. Even as a child, he didn't think in words. He thought in margins, probabilities, and compounding interest. At 6 years old, he bought 6 packs of Coca-Cola from his grandfather's grocery store for 25 cents and sold the individual bottles for a nickel each. No overhead, no complexity, just pure, undeniable profit. TXD2. While other children were playing games, Buffett was mapping out patterns. He tracked the numbers on license plates. He collected bottle caps. He read books on finance before he was even old enough to open a bank account. For him, money was never about buying luxury cars or showing off to neighbors. Just like for John D. Rockefeller, money was something deeper. It was autonomy. It was an unbreakable shield against a chaotic world. It was proof that if you control the math, no one can control you. By the time he was a teenager, he was already a seasoned businessman, running pinball machine routes and buying acres of farmland. He arrived at university not to learn, but to validate what he already suspected: that the world of human emotion is deeply flawed, and the person who remains unemotional can rule it. Most people look at the stock market and see a casino. They look for the next hot trend, the flashy tech startup, the overnight miracle. Buffett looked at the market and saw a battlefield. And on that battlefield, he developed his most lethal strategic concept: the economic moat. Imagine a medieval castle. A castle is vulnerable unless it is surrounded by a deep, wide moat filled with water, making it impossible for enemies to attack. Buffett realized that a great business is exactly the same. He didn't want to buy companies that were merely good. He wanted companies that were protected by an unbreachable wall. What constitutes a moat? It's not just a patent or a clever marketing campaign. It is total consumer inevitability. The moat of brand loyalty. Why did he buy Coca-Cola? Not because he liked the taste, but because billions of people around the globe choose it automatically every single day, regardless of the economy. It is a psychological monopoly. The moat of high switching costs. He bought businesses that were so deeply embedded in the infrastructure of society that removing them would cause too much pain to the consumer. The moat of direct system control. Just as Rockefeller understood that controlling the railroads and pipelines was more powerful than drilling the oil itself, Buffett focused on distribution, insurance, and energy networks. He didn't want to predict the future. He wanted to own the things that the future couldn't live without. He bought the trains that moved the cargo. He bought the utilities that powered the homes. He bought the insurance companies that absorbed the world's risk. His strategy was simple, elegant, and terrifyingly absolute. While everyone else was chasing the unknown, Warren Buffett cornered the market on the unavoidable. In business, we are taught that action equals progress. We are told to move fast, break things, and constantly pivot. Buffett's greatest weapon was the exact opposite: the absolute refusal to move until the odds were entirely in his favor. He famously compared investing to a game of baseball where there are no called strikes. You can stand at the plate for hours, days, or years, watching pitches fly past you. The crowd might scream at you to swing. The media might call you outdated, washed up, or blind. But you don't have to swing. You only strike when the ball is exactly in your sweet spot. This requires a level of psychological discipline that borders on the inhuman. In the late 1990s, during the heights of the dot-com bubble, Wall Street mocked Buffett. Technology stocks were skyrocketing, making 25-year-olds overnight billionaires. Buffett didn't buy a single share. They said he was too old, that the game had passed him by, that his old school methods were dead. Then came the year 2000. The bubble burst. Trillions of dollars vanished into thin air. Companies disappeared. And there stood Buffett, entirely untouched, with billions of dollars in cash, ready to buy the survivors for a fraction of their actual value. He didn't defeat his competitors by outsmarting them in a direct fight. He defeated them by outweighting them. He understood a fundamental law of power. Human beings are biologically hardwired to become greedy during booms and terrified during busts. If you can eliminate your own emotion, you can exploit the madness of everyone else. Because Buffett is soft-spoken and lives in a modest house, the world has granted him a pass. We view him as the benevolent billionaire. But let us be clear, Berkshire Hathaway is not a charity. It is a cold optimization engine. When Buffett buys a company, he demands total efficiency. He often partners with aggressive private equity firms whose first move is to slash costs, lay off thousands of workers, and streamline operations to maximize margins. Buffett doesn't do the firing himself. He keeps his hands clean, but he rewards the results with cold, calculating precision. During the 2008 financial crisis, when the global economy was on the verge of collapse, Buffett didn't step in as a savior out of the goodness of his heart. He stepped in as a lender of last resort, dictating terms that were incredibly predatory and immensely profitable to him. He extracted massive dividend yields from desperate giants like Goldman Sachs and General Electric because he knew they had nowhere else to turn. He used his pristine, folksy reputation as leverage because the public trusted Warren Buffett. His stamp of approval stabilized these dying companies. He literally monetized his own credibility. He understood what Rockefeller learned centuries ago. Your public image is just another asset class. If you manage it correctly, it will shield your ruthlessness from the eyes of the world. Warren Buffett's true legacy is not the size of his bank account. It is the realization that complexity is an illusion. The modern world wants us to believe that to achieve immense power, you need complex algorithms, secret connections, and high-tech operations. Buffett proved that the oldest, most foundational rules still govern everything.